What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Good morning, except it's not a good morning because there's nothing good about the morning. Hashtag the nighttime is the right time.
That's right. Hashtag used to darkness.
How are you doing this morning, Kate?
I am doing pretty good.
You doing pretty good?
Pretty good. I am here. I am reading. We are reading a book. So very good.
Brown noser.
Whatever. What?
So, for those of you who may tune into this one for the first time for some reason, what's the deal with that, yo?
Exactly. What is wrong with you?
Go to the beginning of the playlist. Start at chapter 1. It's much better that way. I decided. Yeah, we're reading chapter 8, Garden of Lies. I'll be damned if I'm sober at my own damn party today. This was one of my favorite chapters to write. It really was. Just because I love a good party. But I've never been to one because I'm not the kind of guy who gets invited to good parties. I get invited to all the shitty half-ass parties.
We'll have to throw some to make up for that.
Facts. So, for those of you who were here for last chapter, we left off after Dulge had a conversation with Engio after winning the hunt, went to bed very drunk. Garden of Lies, chapter 8. I'll be damned if I am sober at my own damn party. Kate, can you hear me fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I wake up to Zadok screaming incoherently. I bolt upright and my eyes shoot over to him standing at the foot of Kira's bed. His hands are on the sides of his head, hands full of hair. He is literally pulling his hair out as he screams something about Kira being gone. How she shouldn't be gone. I think he might rip his vocal cords or pass out from a nervous break. Then Elder Engiel walks down the stairs and calls out, "Enough, Zadok!" Like a candle being blown out, he's suddenly silent and calm. His hands fall to his sides. I can even hear his breathing and heart rate quickly return to normal. What is this guy's malfunction? Engiel walks over to the bed, looks around and points to the nightstand. Zadok now sees what Elder sees and walks to pick up a note left atop it. Zadok, Engiel, I'm taking my sister home so we can get ready for the party tonight. Please don't be mad. Love, Lyra. Zadok reads the note from Kira's identical twin aloud. You see, Zadok, there's always a reasonable explanation. Kira will be fine in the care of her family. But she is seriously wounded. She should be here, under our care. You cannot control people, Zadok. You should not even try. Kira is capable of tending herself now that she has returned to her human form. Zadok has the most unreadable face I have ever seen. It's almost like he isn't alive. No expression on his face. No movement in his eyes. And I have never seen someone stand so still. If I didn't hear breathing and a heartbeat, I would say he was a mannequin. Plus, he just went from having an attack to being okay instantly. Because Engiel showed up? I thought my dreams lately were crazy, but jeez. Shall I check the other patient? No thanks, I'm good. I feel great. I think I might be dying. Cough! We all looked to Murday, who's wearing his usual stupid grin. Did you just say the word cough in place of actually doing it? I ask him. He did. I believe he is attempting humor, Zadok answers me. And now we all look at him. This has got to be a dream. Zadok, please see to your other chores. Angeal chimes in. Class breathes a sigh of relief as Zadok leaves. You must forgive the boy. He really is trying to help, Angeal says as he walks to a workbench and grabs a small clear crystal. He then goes to class and uses the crystal to reflect light into his eyes. How do you feel, Claspin? I feel. We watch in horror as class struggles to speak. That's enough, my boy. Hold up 3 fingers, please. Class shakes his head in frustration, but holds up the fingers. I pull on my pants and walk over. I sit on the edge of the bed opposite Angeal. What's wrong with him? He seemed a bit loopy on the walk back. This is not easy to tell any of you. Claspin, you have suffered a somewhat serious brain injury. When the carapace threw you and you hit your head, your brain impacted the inside of your skull with such force that it caused some bleeding. Thankfully, between the amazing healing you shifters have and the developing abilities of young Zadok, it has been stopped, and under my care, I believe you will make a full recovery, but it will take time. You most likely will not be 100% before the trial of war. I'm sorry, class. I shouldn't have pushed our luck. Class gives me a knowing smile. Don't bullshit me. Yes, good. We would. He stutters and stumbles his way through the sentence. I feel a tightness in my chest, and my eyes water up. I am. I really am. But I'm still sorry. He shakes his head no and offers me a hug. I take him up on it. Ushoke, he says as we embrace. I pull away and wipe away a couple tears. How long till he's better? Hard to say with these kinds of injuries, Dolge. You remember what I taught you about the brain, yes? I nod. Then you remember these things take time and effort. The more effort he puts forth in relearning to speak, the less time it will take. But I am confident, with my help, he will fully recover. Will he be able to attend the fountain party? The fountain party is a large, loud party that traditionally ends the festival. It starts at sunset and is not officially over until sunrise. It is the party of the year, and as the winners of the festival, we're the guests of honor. Class and I and the rest of the pack look to Elder, waiting with bated breath. He sees our expressions and stifles a chuckle. No alcohol or other mind-altering substances. He should also avoid dancing or anything that will make his brain slosh around in his skull. Otherwise, it should be fine. Yes! I gruntingly hiss as I pump my fist. The others whoop and cheer momentarily. Ngio rolls his eyes. You would have just snuck him out if I said no. Engiel grins, which is absolutely correct. After I pestered Elder for a few minutes about it, he agreed to let me leave the infirmary. He said the initial investigation was looking like I was telling the truth. He told me Ryman'S parents have elected to leave his body where it is. Some believe disturbing the dead is a sin. I think if you're going to do it, you should have a damn good reason. The living should respect the dead. Some are still giving me uncertain or outright disdainful looks. Retainers and loyalists of the anathema family occasionally pass and give me a wide berth. I recognize them only because I have seen Arians speak to them on occasion. The festivities have returned to their standard levels of merriment and rhapsody, and I find myself adding a small hopping jerk to my gait in rhythm with the music that prevails through the square. A band plays on the large stage at the north end. It looks like a few talented members. I see a man who has skin like roasted almond and short black wiry hair. He's playing a heavy bass string instrument. I don't know the name of it. I like his sound, though. It's deep and excites the blood. And somehow, despite the overall upbeat nature of the song, the bass line conveys something sad. I've walked closer just to watch him for a few minutes. He notices me watching intently and performs a small flourish in his bass line. The band does not miss a beat. The guitarist is a man with skin like watered-down honey. Short black hair hangs in natural cut. His light blue eyes. He's thin but in an athletic way, like he runs a lot. He strums and plucks from a rhythm that melds smoothly with the bass and drum, giving the music sugar and spice. The vocalist. The vocalist is something to look at. Her upper body is rail thin, but she's quite healthy around the hips and posterior. There's a sort of feral, exotic beauty to her, the kind you admire from a distance or approach at your own peril. Strawberry blonde hair hangs down to her butt. Big blue eyes scan the crowd. She sees me staring and winks seductively. Showmanship or flirting? Both? I'm going to let my ego believe both. The drummer beats a heavy sound into a high drum with shaved head and muscles like the world was running out of muscle, so he decided to hoard it. Jeez, he is huge. And I can't help it. I lose myself in the music and the performance for a while, especially with the vocalist and bassist, watching them and listening to them. I feel almost in a trance. Thoughts flow smoothly. My muscles loosen a little. I tap my foot away or nod my head depending on what the music is doing at the moment. She sings of a lover who betrayed her because of the lies of those around him. Another song talks of running through the plains as the beasts do, finding oneself profoundly in tune with the land and our inner beast. Still another is a merry drinking song about a legendary tavern in the capital called The Element. Fun fact about the two songs I'm talking about there. Those are real world songs I'm referencing. Let's see. She sings of a lover who betrayed her because of the lies of those around her. That one is oh, what's that one by Paramore? They taped over your mouth. Isn't that Crush, Crush, Crush? They taped over your mouth, scribbled out the truth with their lies, your little spies. Yeah, that's Crush, Crush, Crush. And then the second one is Of Wolf and Man by Metallica. In my head, that's the songs I was describing. I suppose you can insert any song you want in there.
Yeah. But I figured you were referencing Paramore when I first read this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I was like, I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, the third one, that song is going to be in the third book.
Yes.
I've actually already written it. Legendary tavern in the capital called The Element. When I realize I've been staring at this girl for 3 songs, I rehinge my jaw and turn around. I have errands that need to be done sometime this life. As I walk away, another song begins. But this time, the bassist begins singing, except it's more like he is speaking quickly in rhythm with the music and rhyming every verse. I've heard of this style of music. It's popular with the cats in the South. I think I like it too. When I get to the smithy, he sees me and promptly looks back at the metal he is shaping. One of the guards apparently took a blow to the head, if the helm is any indication. What do you want, lad? A master poet and god of verse as usual, Gendir. He looks up, scoffs, shakes his head again, and returns to work. Engiel told me he sent you my furs for tanning. He grunts and hooks a thumb over his shoulder, pointing me behind the counter. How you been, G? I ask as I rummage, looking for my items. Same, always. Beast boys come. Talk like still own me. Leave work. Return. Pay less I worth. Leave. I find my items in a large chest. Well, maybe if you had less metal and more brains between your ears, you could negotiate with them. He clears his throat and makes a show of accentuating his voice to mock Engiel. And how am I to get the metal out, lad? I laugh. That one wasn't bad, actually. As I remove my and my boy's furs, I see Gendir has made them into armored fur kilts for us. Strips of thin metal strips of thin metal are vertically sewn in, spaced a couple inches apart. None on the front, though, to increase mobility. He's reinforced the leather along with tanning it and giving us belt loops. These are quality. How did you make all these so fast? I ask him. Been at it. Long time, boy. Plus, help. Sometimes I forget how old Gendir is. Barely looks it. Only a few grays assail his rusty red beard and braided hair. I keep inspecting. He made sure to make Pogs more adjustable, and he can finally be a clothed behemoth of the death and destruction. He'll like that. I come to a garment unlike the rest. Whose is this? For lass. Cheer up. After fall. I whistle as I look it over. It's very short in the front, barely enough to be decent on a male. Good thing it's for Kira. As it goes to the sides, the fur tapers at a 45-degree cut until it comes to a point between her legs and the back. He armored her, too. It also has a sash, like band of fur that rises from the front left hip to the right shoulder to help hold up the garment. A belt, not quite enough for all the weight of this piece. He also shined her fur and hung strands of decorative beads around the waist. Gendir, this is beautiful. I didn't know you had an artistic side. Only ever seen you pound plate and sharpen swords. Been at it long time, is his only answer. Angie'll pay you? He grunts in the affirmative. I walk over to where he works at his bench and set down 5 more gold magnus, about enough to pay for my own work. He scowls, confused. Let it never be said that this beast boy doesn't pay you what you're worth. His scowl softens, and he nods his head, pocketing the tip. I'd give more if I could, but I'll be damned if I'm sober at my own damn party tonight. He laughs at that. I smile and nod, and walk out with the furs bundled under my arms. I think I remember where Kira lives. Only been there once. It's about a 20-minute jog from the forge, through back roads and increasing yard sizes, as I move southeast from the square. I arrive. A well-made fence is having a worn-out section mended by a male slave. He notices me and calls out to another in the yard closer to the house. They look similar, probably related. The second, a thin and average girl with blonde hair and brown eyes, approaches. Can I help you, master? Master Shifter. I'm no one's master except my own. And lately, these dreams have me wondering about even that. Is Kira here? She seems a little taken aback. Her eyes dart to and fro. Very well. Mistress Kira is here. I'm sorry. What would you like me to call you? Alpha Thorn, or Sir, is fine, miss. She bows. I will introduce you to my masters, Alpha Thorn. She ushers me into the fence, and I take up stride behind her. We walk up a few steps onto the front porch, which is covered and stretches across the entire front of the house, just like mine. These big covered porches get more popular the further north you go. I hear the avians actually put walls on theirs. Makes them basically an open-air room of their homes. She guides me in through the front door. The living room is pretty big and nicely furnished. The walls and ceilings are painted white. The furniture is all quiet reds and purples. Fireplace sits cold at the end of the room opposite the door. A large shelf, cupboard combo, holds a number of books, a tea set, and some linen. I am guided through the living room into the adjoining kitchen, also all white and nicely furnished, as kitchens go. The girl pulls out a chair and offers me a seat. You may set your items on the table, sir. I will let the household know you're here. I nod to her and thank her while taking the seat. There is a pitcher of water on the table. I hold it a few inches above my mouth and pour in a few swallows. You know, that's the pitcher of water they use to wash their hands before meals. The sudden voice from behind me startles me. I jerk slightly while pouring. I manage to only take a small bath. I set the pitcher down. That explains the taste, I say, grinning as I turn. Amnes stands there in the entryway to the kitchen. She's dressed in furs herself. I approach her, and we clasp wrists. Those from the hunt? I nod to her ensemble. Tanned them myself, the old school way. Oh, yuck. How the void did you get rid of the smell? Rinse in river, scrub with herbs, repeat until smell of carapagne piss is gone. I laugh and shake my head. You're pretty hardcore sometimes, woman. What brings you by? She cocks her head back, raising an eyebrow. 2 of my packmates live here. I'm practically family. Why the void are you here, Dirty D? I gotta get well present for your lieutenant from myself and Gendir. I caught it. He tanned it. She smiles. Well, I guess I don't mind you being here then. She walks past me and seats herself at the table. Okay. I follow suit. I only just get my butt in the seat before a man who must be Kira's father and his wife enter through a doorway on the other side of the kitchen. Me and Amnes both stand. The slave girl follows in behind them. Master, this is Alpha Thorn. Alpha Thorn, it is my honor to introduce Cove Runus and the mistress of the house, Wind Runus. I bow politely. Cove rushes over to pull me out of my bow. No one who saves the daughter. Oh, yeah, the daughter. Hey, what's up, Mr. Bot, sir? How's it going?
Mr. Bot.
That's the good time as I need to take a quick drink.
His name is
His name is Tyler Knight.
Tyler Knight.
Which would be a cool name if it wasn't a bot.
Ooh. Don't judge him. He didn't ask to be born this way.
He didn't ask to be a bot. Okay. Master, this is Alpha Thorn. Alpha Thorn, it is my honor to introduce Cove Runus and the mistress of the house, Wind Runus. I bow politely. Cove rushes over to pull me out of my bow. No one who saves the life of my daughter bows to me. Thank you. He embraces me. He's a few inches shorter than me, and not large. I briefly embrace him back, and we separate. Kira is the spitting image of her mother. Her father is a fairly plain man. He wears his brown hair very short. He dresses in simple cotton breeches and a green long shirt. His wife, however, wears a long dress of soft purple. She smiles warmly at me, her eyes kind and awake. A friend of Amnes is a friend of mine, sir. It simply would not... Oh, excuse me, that's me talking. Jesus Christ! A friend of Amnes is a friend of mine, sir. It simply would not do to leave a friend behind. He clasps my shoulder. Well said, young Alpha. Amnes and Engiel have always spoken highly of you. I see why. Please, sit. He then walks over to and embraces Amnes. Wind quickly follows and also kisses Amnes on the cheek. How was your hunt, dear? She asks Amnes. Adult carapain are bloody heavy. Amnes intones her words heavily with breath to make sure we all know just how heavy they are. Cove and Wind smile and give each other a knowing look. Pulling a chair for Wind, Cove seats his wife and then himself. Amnes sits next to me. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of the company of these two alphas of the 600th year? He asks. I can't speak for Amnes, but I am here bearing gifts. Old man Gendir tanned and stitched up a pretty nice armored kilt for Kira. Made it from the blacktail I caught to feed her after we escaped the cave. He and his wife place hands over their hearts and share a look. Are you trying to court my Kira? Wind asks me. I feel a small blush. What? No. I just consider her a friend. We shared a profound experience. Just here to let her know our friendship lasts past the festival. Amnes nudges my side with her elbow. I don't buy it, Dulge. You're sweet on my beta, aren't you? She asks in a joking tone. Hey, good to see you, sir. How's it going? Cut it out, would you? I'm trying to make a serious impression here. Amnes snickers at that, but desists. Wind sighs. A shame. You would make a fine son-in-law, I think. Blush intensifies. No luck, mother. Dulge fancies Amnes. Kira's sister, Lyra, says as she walks into the room from yet a third doorway into the kitchen. They are identical except for the short, spiky haircut Lyra wears, as opposed to Kira's natural long hair. Also, of course, the absence of the notched ear and scar on the neck. Come to think of it, Kira probably wears her hair long to hide those. Hazards of combat training, eh? As if Dolge isn't alpha enough to court me. Amnes jokes. Now I nudge her with my elbow. Lyra walks over and sits next to her mother. Kira is resting. Ribs still creak when she moves. What brings you here, Alpha Thorn? I stand and take all but Kira's custom war skirt from the table. I then unfold it and lay it out. All present admire the craftsmanship, commenting on the tasteful cut, the beading, and they don't ignore the quality of the armor plates sewed in along the waist and sides of the legs either. I never cease to be amazed at the quality of Gendir's work. An exceptionally skilled human he is. Cove comments. Lyra and Wind discuss the bead pattern, how it complements the hues of the fur. Valuing practicality, Amnes inspects the armor. A girl after my own heart, if she wasn't so imposing. I don't think I want to date a girl who can kick my ass. Or maybe that would make it more interesting. I'll have to discuss that one with the boys. We share entertaining and polite conversation for a while longer before I announce I must be off. Amnes sticks around for a while. Wind insists I come for dinner tomorrow night. I tell her I would be honored. It's only midday. I have plenty of time to kill before the fountain party tonight. I stop by the butcher to ask after my trophies. Takes a long time to tan a full carapagne pelt. Plus, NGO paid to have it delivered. It and the tusks will be at your place in a day or two. NGO sure is throwing a lot of coin around in my favor. This his way of quietly thanking me for being his secret weapon? Maybe. Might also just be him being him. I don't really have anything else to do. I head back to my gammas in the infirmary. We can all have lunch, try on our new matching armor, and solve this question of whether being able to take you in a fight makes a girl hotter or not. After much deliberation over our meal, mead, a coin toss, and a shouting match between Murday and Steerguild, we finally all agree. A girl who can kick your ass is definitely sexy. Our reasons vary, but personally, I like a challenge. And then again, we also all agree the warm fuzzies of protecting someone feel pretty good too. We ultimately settle on comes down to preference, which is an unsatisfying resolution to a discussion in my humble opinion. But I digress. We all look pretty slick in our armored kilts. They drop below knee on everyone except Longman Murr. Pogs is more excited about it being adjustable than the armored part. Clothes made that you can shift in are expensive. Clothes made that phages can shift in don't exist. Until now, that is. We spent so long arguing about girls, the sun is beginning to set. Won't be too long now until the show begins. They don't place requirements on the winners in terms of attendance or conduct, but people kind of expect you to be there. Plus, we can't receive prizes or free drinks if we don't show up. So who would skip? We all agree we're wearing our new gear together, and nothing else. Murday proposed it, and because we're all half drunk, the idea caught enough traction to stick. Pogs has serious reservation because of his skin. which, to remind any who might be watching, that's Pogsworth macrophage right there. So you see why he might be a little self-conscious about his skin, all veiny and shit. Gotta go back and start at the beginning. Hey, thanks for showing up and
Yeah.
here, man. Love you, bro. That's my buddy. That's my buddy and adopted brother, Owen. You can check him out at on Twitch as Lord Lino. Good dude.
Yeah.
Where was I? So who would skip? Let's do Pogs because of his skin. Pogs looks at me. Pogs, look at me. I look like a case study in superficial wounds. Stir's chest is more bruised than chest. Don't worry about it. I worry. He grumbles under his breath as we all file out of the cool basement infirmary. The music in the square has livened up even more since I walked through earlier. The same band is still going at it. I wonder if they took a break. As we walk into the square, people take notice. Our half-naked, battle-scarred, barefooted selves. We must look half-mad. But with exception to Pogs and Class, we're grinning ear to ear. I think Class would be enjoying it too if he weren't still punch-drunk from his blow to the head. I hope the willow juice Elder gave him helps. I don't want him to suffer through the night. But I also can't stand the thought of him missing this. He helped earn this victory too. He gets his fair share of revelry, and he will like it! A crowd of girls is standing near the entrance to the square, where the buildings stop and the stalls begin. When one of them turns her head and sees us, she gets her friend's attention, and they rush over to my pack. At first, I'm not sure what the void is going on, but then they start crowding around us and hanging flower wreaths around our necks, asking us about different aspects of the hunt. 2 of the 7 girls have asked Pogs and me to dance. When their friends hear them ask, they all decide to ask too. 7 of them, 5 of us. We tell them they can share us, and we march them into the square like never before, with fans. The girls weren't the only ones waiting for us, it seems. Many people stop us to congratulate us, ask a question or two, or thrust flagons of mead at us. We share our drinks with the girls, and we're still twice as drunk as before by the time we reach the stage to dance. I can't believe how good this feels. Arian robbed us of our return home parade, but it seems our party is in full swing, because when we arrive at the stage, the crowd clears a section for me and my boys to dance. I am not graceful, but I have energy and whimsy. My boys are so full of liquid courage. Even Pogs doesn't hesitate to let himself get drug into the dance area for a song or two. I'm just enjoying myself, trading partners with my pack as we all do a group dance. But all good things come to an end. Amnes marches onto the dance floor, grabs me by my ear, and starts pulling me. I don't want to lose the ear, so I follow. People hoot and holler as we pass. We enter the massive tent that gets set up around the fountain. A large circular bar has been erected around the large fountain. Amnes drags me to it and puts me in a chair between Kira and Lyra. "Get him, ladies!" Amnes shouts, and the 2 sisters grab my arms and each kiss a cheek. The crowd has been watching the whole spectacle and laughs and shouts about it. Amnes, what the void are you guys doing? Second pack, rule 5. We always show appreciation for a favor. Bartender! I turn my gaze. He's bringing over a half-gallon flagon. He sets it down, and I can smell its rich, fruity smell. Berry and berry mead. Amnes, you know me too well. I cheated and asked Pogs. Thank you for saving Kira, Dirty D. She hugs me while I sit on my stool, and my ribs creak. I laugh and embrace her back. The guilt of Ryman's death, the fear for Pogs and class, the memory of the oppressive darkness of that foxhole. It all melts away as we laugh and joke and talk about our stories. Amnes tells me how her pack bagged its Kara. Apparently, great minds think alike. She hauled hers in using the same log method we did, but she took it down the hard way, full-on combat. Yeah, my pack was too busy kicking Arian's ass for that, I brag. I get laughs and whoops and hollers from the gathered crowd who listen intently to the hunters swapping stories. Sis, you should have seen it. We chased this Kara for 4 days straight, and it still had the juice to knock over this huge redwood. Lyra embellishes her story for all it's worth. Murday has snuck up behind her. He makes funny faces and big, obnoxious gestures as she tells her story. The crowd is laughing. Kira can't help it despite her ribs. She's cracking up. Lyra looks behind her, and when she sees Murday, she stands from her seat and slaps him silly. The crowd laughs at that too. I swear I didn't laugh. Not at all. I'm not crying. You're crying. I go to help my friend up. Hey, bud, you okay? He looks me dead in the eyes from where he is sprawled on the ground, and in the most serious tone he has, says to me, I think I'm in love. I stare dumbfounded and incredulous for a beat or three, and then I laugh so hard I find myself on the ground with him. The night goes on like that, joking, dancing, drinking. Me and Amnes get goaded into an arm wrestling match. Sorry. Me and Amnes get goaded into an arm wrestling match. I can't remember who won. And no, I mean it. I am so drunk. I managed to slip away to find a bush, which takes a while. Privacy is scarce tonight. But after walking west a bit, I find a patch of grapevines that offer good cover. Plus, free grapes. Whoa! Still way too sour. After losing about 20 pounds of water weight, I right my garment and turn to return back down the row of vines whence I came. When I do, I stand face to face with Angel. She's wearing a nice dress. It's pink with a white chest and sleeves that stop just before the elbow. The dress stops just above her knees. She's done something to scent herself like candy, but I can still smell the fertile dirt. Is that her natural scent? She just stands there watching me. I sway in place slightly. My eyes flutter. I cannot remember when I was this drunk last. She raises an eyebrow and waits. Her lovely green eyes stare into me. Wasn't I supposed to say something when I saw her? I stutter out. Her eyebrow shoots up. How drunk are you? She asks in a hushed tone. How drunk do you think I am? I think you are wasted. More drunk than that. Man, she sighs. She grabs my hand and starts pulling me. After a while, I find myself at a well. She sends the bucket down and brings it back up. Drink this. I nod. I lean against the well and chug from the bucket. It's cold and refreshing. My mouth was getting pretty dry from all the booze. I down almost half a gallon and hand her the bucket back. She hands the bucket back. More. Then we find a private spot. Why do we need a private spot? I chug as much as my stomach can handle and set the bucket on the side of the well. She grabs my hand and takes off walking. I let her lead me. Her hand is soft, and the view back here is pleasant. We go further west, away from the square. I only know because I know the town so well. We turn down a utility road that runs between the rows of buildings for maintenance and such. And there's a shed ahead. These are placed around town on the maintenance roads. The town stores various kinds of supplies in them, not least of which is big clay pots for water, for quickly addressing fires. It's made of stacked stone and has a thick wooden door with a hefty lock. Are we headed for the shed? She reaches into a fold of her dress and produces the key for the lock, and she ushers me inside. Okay, what in the void is the deal, Angel? Your name is Angel, right? I walk to a pot and sit down on it, facing her. She stays standing by the door. You have to promise me that no matter what, our conversation stays between us, whether you agree to help me or not. What? Why? On your warrior honor, swear it. She's pleading. Her voice is strained and desperate. It's sobering. I swear on my honor I will not tell anyone what we discuss here. I can't help myself. I'm drunk, and she's clearly desperate. My words make her shoulders ease slightly. Her breathing steadies. She was ready to bolt until I said that, and I'm halfway sure she still is. I want to free my people, Dolge. I want to be free, and I want your help. The Garden of Lies, Chapter 8.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if I'm sober at my own damn party.
And he was not.
Not even a little bit.
Nope.
Not even at all.
Not even slightly.
So, what will happen with our intrepid adventurer Dolge next time? Will Angel reveal grand conspiracies and plot points?
Oh, come on, Mr. Narrator. That's almost like, like once upon a time, there was the beginning of the story, and then it moved into the middle, and some stuff happened. The end.
Once upon a time, there was a man. He went to a place and did a thing. Then he went to another place and did another thing. Then he fought another man, killing him. Then he returned home, married the girl of his dreams, and had many babies. The end.
Oh, no.
Epic fantasy novel right there. Just gotta flesh that out with like another 200,000 words.
Right? Yeah. No, it could be like, or it could be bizarro science fiction. You said he came home and had many babies, and then he wondered why they were all so small.
What?
You said many. I did a play on words.
Oh my god. So anyways, folks. Yeah. That's the Garden of Lies, Chapter 8. Again, I just want to say, as I do at the end of every chapter, thank you for being here. If you're not already, if you like me and you like CAIT, go subscribe to the channel whose comment I just highlighted. That's our second channel. We do Slice of Life. We do reaction vids. We do all kinds of crazy nonsense. And hey, we're in the age of censorship. YouTube might nuke me at any time because I don't pray at the altar of woke. So,
yeah, or any of us.
Oh, yeah. So if you come to my channel one day and it's, not there, it's on Rumble. Yeah. It's on Rumble. It's on Odyssey. And you can find me on all the social medias and ask what the hell happened, and I will answer you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, it really means a lot to me that you all are here. Thank you for being here. Next time, the plot really gets moving. It like in a big way, like mucho-esque big.
Yes. And Mason, we missed you because we know that you're going to watch this back. So
We
sir,
did, sir, but that's okay. Your health is important, sir.
Yep, you're probably out walking.
For a walk.
Exactly.
But you will take some like super concentrated caffeine and come to the podcast one of these days.
Yes. And
over
if
on
you get a comment
Adventures
from
publication.
very soon, after this video is up, you will get a lashing.
All right, everyone, you have a very good day. Welcome to Garden. Be well, my friends. Peace out. Dun,
Dun, dun, dun.